All right, I'll give you two more plays here and then some final thoughts at the end and some comparison points. We're into the fourth possession. The field has switched. He's into the boundary here. Like I said earlier, Diggs played all right side corner in this game, at least what I chose to watch up through the first half. And he does happen to be into the boundary here. Now, in the Seattle structure, that will be Josh Jobe, and Diggs will be to the field. I wonder if, in some kind of weird way, if he's better as a right side corner, some guys are, if he doesn't play snaps, more of his snaps, excuse me, when the ball was on the left hash. Now, this is a very similar dynamic to Ronald Darby in 2023. There were weeks when the Ravens had all of their corners, their outside corners healthy, but McDonald used all of them. And I can't prove this necessarily. You're just going to have to kind of trust me on this. And if you don't, that's fine. Darby played more when the ball was on the right hash for the offense, and he could play into the boundary down here. And so there were times in the middle of a possession where Marlon Humphrey would play left corner, and then the ball would end up on the right hash for the offense. From a defense perspective, that would be ball on the left hash. And Ronald Darby would be here, and then McDonald would switch Marlon Humphrey to the nickel to the field. I'm putting MH for Marlon Humphrey. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then some other outside corner would play to the field. What I'm saying or offering is if Diggs is better as a right side corner, which is where, in fact, I've seen him most of the time. Think about the Dallas film I showed you in the beginning, the 2 interceptions, right? That could open up a whole new set of options for McDonald and Durday to play Diggs more into the boundary when the ball was on the left hash for the offense. Forgive me if that took a while to get that point out. If you stuck around this long, you must enjoy the way I explain things to a certain extent. I do happen to be long-winded, but in my opinion, some of these explanations, to give you the proper context, it has to last a little longer. This is quarter, half, in my opinion. So quarter, half field defender, right? Most people refer to it as a cover 6. Diggs sitting in the flats. I think he's really good at this, to be honest with you. And that fits with how McDonald used Darby in 2023. Why do I reference Darby so much? Because he's a guy, well, the similarities are ridiculous. Both from Maryland. Darby's from PG County. Oxon Hill, in fact. Diggs is from Gaithersburg. So Montgomery County, different county, but still outside of D.C. ACL injuries after a very promising and athletic early start to their career. Diggs was more prolific from an interception standpoint. Show up in a Mike McDonald structure late in August after injuries to other guys. In the case of the Ravens and Darby, Marlon Humphrey was obviously extremely well known inside the Ravens fan base and out. My point is, I could see McDonald recreating that dynamic and playing a whole lot of this cover 2 into the boundary because it utilizes Diggs' playmaking skills, awareness, play recognition, whatever you want to call it, and he has safety help over the top. Hopefully I said all that in a way that makes sense. I don't know if you showed up for that long of a breakdown. I'm not saying that he's going to be an instant success. He just looks smooth and under control in zone to me. In this film, last year, week 18, I'm not offering you that he can't play man, but he's 28 years old. Or he'll be 28 years old. I understand, or I think I can foresee how Seattle views him as an asset, especially given the current cornerback room configuration, outside corner configuration. A healthy, Nick Emanwari makes all of this work, whether Trevon Diggs is around or not, whether Terrion Arnold is around or not. This will be the last play that I show you, and it's a third down from that same fourth possession for the Vikings. Again, J.J. McCarthy's playing quarterback, and at this point in time, we know he's already lost the job to Kyler Murray this season. A great play call, in my opinion, by the Packers defensive coordinator. McCarthy has checked something, all right, and Green Bay is providing or giving him a heavy blitz look. You can see, as illustrated by the shaded area, and then you've got 3 DBs down at the bottom over 2 eligible receivers. Diggs up top all by himself, right, with Jefferson. Looks like man. And so post-snap, however, really Mike McDonald-esque, in my opinion, with what they do here. You can see they drop out 2 of the guys that are mugged up. You get this rotation by the safeties. I'm calling this a 2 deep, 4 under. And that's something that McDonald plays a lot of. Again, I feel like this, no, it could be a defensive pass interference easy, right? There's definitely contact before the ball arrives from a Diggs standpoint. He's already making contact here. I think the football is right there. You know, it doesn't, when you go frame by frame right here, you kind of lose perspective of it. Perhaps you maybe saw it. The ball's in this area. There's already contact. So clearly it could be a DPI, a penalty. But what I really like is using Diggs' reactions, his play recognition, and rolling a safety over the top. McDonald and Durday play the 2 deep 4 under coverage. I think, I think he's got coverage versatility. I'm not saying that he wasn't known as a gambler and that he didn't get burnt by it, certainly, right? And last year, the quarterback passer rating on targeting him was extremely high. It was damn near perfect. And I don't know how they come about those things. I'm not a huge fan of trusting those things blindly. I will show this play from the end zone angle because I think it is similar to the McDonald and Durday structure. Already broke down the coverage. I made it clear that I think it should be a penalty on Trevon Diggs. So you've got all these guys mugged up, and they're going to drop these two out from the same side. 90, I think it's 99, is going to drop here, and he's going to pick up this crosser, the tight end, from the other side. And then this linebacker / edge defender here is going to pop out and become the 4th underneath dropper. Again, I'm calling this a 2 deep 4 under, ball out quick from a McCarthy standpoint because he foresaw the blitz, right? 33 is blitzing off the edge. There's definitely contact. That I paused it here so you can see the ball. It's very fuzzy because the camera was moving that the NFL used to film this, so my apologies for that. But you get the idea, right? Could have been a penalty, but you got a quick reaction from Diggs. I like putting him in cover 2. He is a playmaker. He has been a playmaker, in my opinion. He's probably looking for the penalty here, to be honest with you, because he knows he committed one.